are so valuable. It's like gold dust.
Yeah, I mean, Ents, Fnatic, and Complexity didn't make it through the open qualifier. That's how absolutely brutal that was. So, yeah, I think for a lot of these teams, it's important. Maybe for a Falcons, they'll get some more opportunities, but equally, their rankings all over the shop. BetBoom too. For both of these teams, no joke, could make or break their season, this best of 3 right now.
It's crazy. All right, we're in it. We're already in the action. They want to get going. I want to get going, so I'm in for it. Starting out here. They're going to be on, but Siren and Boomich, they've got something to say. This BetBoom roster has been starting to impress. Boomich looking like a man renewed. Axile having some serious impact as well. There's a lot to like here. But Tessis is going to like that headshot. Body shot, even. Now he's going to be trying to move back in, and they can't hold him at bay. Boomich left alone. 1v3. Got the first, nearly the second, but Magisk will put him down, secure the defuse, and secure the first round for Falcons.
Good start. Dexter doing work to get us into this. And, I mean, there's about a million things to talk about, aren't there, with Falcons?
Yeah.
We're going to have a lot of fun today. Very different lineup, obviously, to the one that represented this team for the bulk of last year. And there's a lot of questions here. I feel like the most known quantity is probably Magisk. He's the one person that I know what level's going to be. Everybody else, it depends, is an understatement.
NiKo?
I mean, he's going to be good. He will be good, but what's his role in the team? You know, I know what Magisk is here for. NiKo can be the best player in the world, but does he have the pieces around him to flourish into that form? I don't know yet.
I mean, based on what we saw at Katowice, he's playing a lot of the same things that he was doing on G2. Seems to be doing some calling around himself as well, right? Supporting Kicksen in that capacity. But we'll see. Here comes the hit. Degs just holding. Rifle here. No op. And Magisk lost as well. Means this could get a little finicky. Killed on that window peak. Bomb is isolated. 2 players coming back through mid. So if NiKo can control this donut rotate, well, Zorti's never going to feel comfortable to actually get that bomb planted down. 2 kills to find, and he's going to take them both. MP9 nerf or no. It's perfectly good. Tess is jumping around, locking this down. And yeah, I mean, talking more about this Falcons team. Essentially, if this is your first brush with this Falcons roster, think about them as Heroic from last year, plus NiKo and Magisk. Obviously, it's a different environment. Pressures are going to be different. Community is going to be different. Different coaching staff. We put a lot of the credit for that Heroic roster on Saw. Well, now they're over with Zonic instead. But it is going to be some of the DNA, certainly, that we saw in Heroic last year, now brought forth with some of the ideas that veterans like NiKo and Magisk are going to be bringing in.
It's not just the skill either, is it? I mean, obviously, someone like Nertz was a fabulous player, but Magisk, NiKo, Zonic behind this team. Just a level of game knowledge and experience, how to play different situations, how to set everything up outside the server. Don't neglect that too.
I think one of the ways we're seeing this most apparent, especially with the NiKo impact, is some of the concerns that have been shown with G2, where they have not looked as dynamic or creative on the calls. And that's one of those things where NiKo, as a secondary caller on that team, probably brought a lot to the table. It's always hard to know from outside the roster, but now you have Falcons with the benefit of that, where it's not just the fact that he's got some of the best aim in the history of the game. It's also that he knows how to direct the troops around himself and how to position himself to create opportunities for the rest of his team as well. Thanks for dancing around the boxes again. Gonna get himself the 2. Can Boomich steal a bomb plant? No. That would have been too much to ask. And indeed, it will be.
One aspect would definitely be from a Kicksan perspective. This is, for a player like him, this is a massive opportunity to grow. When has he ever had these pieces around him? Ever had a star? I mean, obviously Nurse was fabulous, but NiKo is a step above. Dexter, equally fabulous AWPer. And then you have the experience as well. There's so many reasons why Kicksan can grow on this team, and well, if he can, then sky's the limit.
He's been such an exciting prospect to watch develop as an IGL. Again, the space is going to be left towards A. Look at all the ground that they've taken. Falcons opting for that heavy mid-control early means that there's gaps left. And Boomich, the timing on this window peek could be perfect. Nearly catches one. Gonna put NiKo on notice. Now they're in real danger, and Tessus does not realize how far MagnaJess has gotten. Oh my goodness, this is a disaster for Falcons. Just no ability to actually aggress back into this retake. Kixon totally cut off from his teammates. And they know they have to battle back into mid to even have a chance to make something of this round. And they have no idea Axile's here. Surrounded from all sides, NiKo somehow scrapes that kill on Boomich. But he will not be able to get away from the smoke. And this one's just a non-starter for Falcons.
They made a pretty early call here as well to save. That's why that smoke is out in mid. Even so, they couldn't get out. Massively overloaded was Donut from Falcons, as you said. They gambled on mid having the numbers. A lot of teams will do that. Very difficult to hold mid as CT side if you don't put numbers there, if you don't put early util onto the elbow area. So can hardly blame Falcons. It's not an unusual way to play, but yeah, BetBoom got a lot of space for free, and with nobody on the site proper from Falcons and losing ground in towards Temple and CT, it's just impossible. You need to hold at least 2 of the 3 avenues to retake that site.
Just an update on that veto as well. The veto is going to be Ancient. Dust2 is Falcon's pick coming next. And then Nuke will be the decider should we need it.
Dust2 will be fun. It was a very good map for Heroic with Kicksan calling. And I have no reason to believe... I mean, Magus is the best B-side Dust2 player in history, assuming he still plays that spot for this team. And NiKo's not too bad either at his positions.
No. Yeah, I think it's Magus and Tess is now playing with him as well, so they keep the Danish connection going on over there. Tess is filling in for what Dupree was doing in the last Falcons roster in a lot of situations.
Kicksan just annihilated those players. They never stood a chance. I don't know if he dodged a flash or something, but how on earth does he mow down 3 without a response?
That'll help. They're still bomb control, but it's tough to paint a picture of them getting back into this round, isn't it? Axile has been looking nicely rejuvenated in this team. We haven't seen him tested on LAN yet, I don't believe. So there's still a lot to be proven, but it's nice to see after Axile just kind of faded from being in this conversation of being the next NiKo to being a complete non-factor for a range of time. It's nice to see Axile showing up again. Yeah,
I think when you look at the career of someone like Axile, I think it's very good proof that, I mean, taking NiKo as another example, NiKo is a fabulously well-rounded player. Axile was phenomenal at, a narrow part of the game. He was incredibly good at it, and when Gambit and Cloud9 was at their best, he could flourish in those positions, but clearly over the years, despite still being obviously incredibly mechanically skilled, he hasn't quite found his footing in a lot of these different lineups. Hopefully this is the one, but yeah, we're a bit of a way off from the highs we have seen in the past at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, it's just crazy, number 5 player of 2021, number 4 player of 2022, and then just, so little sense. So little sense. Really just one of those what could have been in so many conversations. Was part of that Cloud9 team that just really never got going last year. Now still with Boomich, but moved over to this project. This BetBoom team feels like they could actually have some legs, but not going to be easy if you start off getting opt down by Degster on the boost. Zorte unable to do anything in this round. And now locked into a 5v4. BetBoom have been on the back foot in all but one round. Advantages hard to come by.
A couple rounds as well, isn't it? Where they've gone for these aggressive openings towards B and not got any traction. Last time it was Kicksan that mowed them all down. This time Dexter finds one, gets his advanced position, tells his teammates there's no threat. And BetBoom have just completely stalled. Smoke now coming over for the long side and the short side.
Ooh.
It's really a fake. The bomb out towards elbow. Dex is taking space. Finds one. Knife is out. Magno. Oh my lord. And Dexter gets out with his life. That's unbelievable.
He repeats, so maybe a little too far, but that would have been the freest punish ever available. Oh, no. A ballsy move from Dexter. Cannot believe he got away with that one.
I'm not surprised. Right. I probably thought it was a fake. I mean, he hadn't seen... All he sees is the smokes come over and nothing else. No noise.
2 players, though.
No space. I kind of dig it.
Oh, great shot from Magisk. He doesn't realize, I don't think, that Boomich is past him. We'll see. No, they are aware, in fact. NiKo, always aware, of course, that was a possibility. So, this is looking like a drubbing. The only round where BetBoom had success is where they managed to just walk out A with no resistance because Falcons were going for a heavy donut play early. So, outside of catching Falcons with their pants down, they have had very little to speak of in these rounds.
They're doing a lot of what we would call all-in plays, where you call something from spawn, and if it goes wrong, it's bad news. It's very bad news. You commit a lot of players to one side of the map. You're not defaulted out. Obviously, in the first gun round, we saw that work with numbers towards A, but since then, where's the mid control? Where's taking B slowly? We're always trying to force something onto the sites. It's just been painful so far, and I think, Mike, they have to go back to defaulting because these aggressive moves at the start of the round, they're not working whatsoever.
This is a nice adjustment for Falcons as well from that one round that they lost, which is that they're going for that same sort of all-in mid-aggression. That's kind of the, ancient CT side playbook classic, where you dump the early smokes and the Molotovs to give yourself the space to go for this window peek. It's worked beautifully. They've gotten 2 kills. The difference in the wrinkle is that they're leaving Digster on the A side, right?
Yeah.
So that if there was that walkout A main, he could punish. So it's a very small difference, but it's just recognizing that BetBoom are basically just trying to move in a pack and putting Dexter in a position to punish, especially with that full belt of util, if he needed to stall them out and allow his teammates to rotate.
It's also, if you're Falcons, a very pertinent question to ask when you're smashing the other team is what has worked for them? Because they're going to go back to it at some point. BetBoom will run another A round this half because it's the only thing that's found any success. And yeah, if Dexter's playing there when they come out next time, he can fall out into temple, he can keep control. It's not just about finding the frag, it's about maintaining positioning. And we like the adjustments. Tezes doesn't quite get both the players, but NiKo's here to finish off. And it might be a couple losses here against Pistols, but do they care? They've got money. No. They've got rounds in the bag. Falcons at the moment, they're loving life.
Yeah, and I think it's worth throwing a couple bodies just to try and deny the bomb plant, right? If there were another circumstance, you probably would have seen them wait and go for the retake, but because they've got the cash to spare, because they know that bomb plant's valuable to BetBoom in the long game, they're just trying to make sure they can't actually get that money. It's interesting to look back on G2's run at Kato, right? They only had 2 games, just by virtue of where they came straight into the main event, went right into groups, went right into an Eternal Fire team that was just chewing teams up and spitting them out. That, not so successful. But that G2 game, man, that came right down to the wire on Mirage. That easily could have gone Falcons' way. They were looking very dialed in. And I think, I don't know, man. I think that they didn't get a win at that event, but it was a clear signal that this is not the Falcons team of last year, that this is a team that actually can win some things and not look miserable while they play.
Just the whole aura of the team as well. It's like you're getting the heroic core off a high for them towards the end of last year. Young players. It's not like we're coming into this, everybody's a major champion, everybody's expecting big results from day one. It's a project. That said, NiKo's only here to win big tournaments, and well, given how he's playing so far, he's fulfilling his part.
Yeah, he was very clear. Oh my goodness. He was very clear. Let's see if they can get anything. Boomich. Second kill here would go a long way to making this possible. Bombs down at spawn, actually. It doesn't matter. Getting back to link up with that to get a bomb plant in a 2v4 is going to be a great challenge itself when they don't know that they can actually get back out into the middle. This round is a non-starter. So I'm going to go back to talking about things that are relevant to the round until Zorthy gets that bomb at least. Yeah, I mean, NiKo was very clear in one of the long-form interviews he did at Kato that it wasn't just about, the paycheck in this move. It was about the vision that had been sold to him as far as building a team around him, about what kind of pieces could be available, what kind of roster they could build, and the idea that they are constructing a project to contend. Dexter trying to jump the shadow. We'll give up his position at the very least, but again, support in towards mid. Means that he should be comfortable to keep eyes locked on Donut. Okay, hold on. 20 seconds. There's not a lot of time for this. There's not a lot of health for Boomich. 1 HP. If Tessus gets this cave player, it is over. And indeed, it will be Magisk instead. Okay, so a glimmer of hope for BetBoom, but ultimately it was what we expected it to be, which is a shutout.
Flat, I guess, is the word right now. BetBoom. Not getting any traction. Lacking bomb plants as well. And they can't buy behind... Well, they will here. Running out of time. And they need rounds. It's not healthy. Lack of utility isn't promising. Got a decent amount, actually, but only the 2 AKs. And at some point, this just becomes a matter of getting enough rounds for BetBoom to stand a chance in that second half. 3 has got to be a minimum they're aiming for. And finally, they're going back to what worked earlier. An early A round, mid-fake with the util. But Falcons a much better position this time. Maggie's on location. Got to play it in Donut. Look at NiKo too. Sorry, Dexter in towards CT. They know what's coming. They're reading this like a book.
Yeah. Well, 1, 2. There's the third. And it's a total shutdown. Extremely telegraphed round. You had no control anywhere else on the map. Boomich, out of bullets. Do lead down. Yeah, I mean, so here's the problem. They go back into that 8 take. That worked, except this time you've done no pressure anywhere else. There's no real cause for concern for Falcons. So as soon as they realize and read that, Dexter's already on the move to try and be in position for the action. So you're going into the stack, and you're going into a stack that is composed of NiKo, Magisk, and Dexter, right? Like,
not fun. not
fun. You better have the greatest flashes known to man if you're going to try and take down that
or
trio.
Donk. That's what you need. If you don't have Donk, you're not getting onto that site.
Donk's mortal now. Did you watch the Kato final? Donk's mortal. He had 2 maps of negative rating. Didn't know that was possible.
Gods can take a day off.
Yeah, well, he probably would have preferred it was a different day, but, you know, such is life as a competitor.
This is not good for BetBoom. Reminder, guys, winner of this series goes to Dallas. Loser goes into the Hellscape lower bracket, where one team will emerge from a lot. A lot of teams are going down there. And this is BetBoom's pick. I'm not feeling great. Nor are they.
No, they look completely stumped. They look extremely one-dimensional in these takes. I think you summed it up well. It's just constantly all in. And it doesn't look like... I mean, we've seen the ideas and the adjustments from Falcons, right? Where it's like, okay, this happened, so we're going to adjust this. Kind of feels like strat roulette a little bit over on the BetBoom side, where it's like, we're going to hit B. I mean, this time you can't blame them. Extremely limited utility. The economy's been a problem all half long. So they're just trying to swarm and overwhelm with these Tech 9s, and the smokes have created enough space. The bomb's going to go down. That's already so much more successful than we've seen for BetBoom. What can these techies get? The boost assembled. Kicks in, knocked out from the bottom of it. Oh my goodness. NiKo's gone to the USP. He's out of bullets. And he's out of life as a result of it. Spam may be catching him off guard. So BetBoom look dialed in for a second round. How much skin does Magisk want to put into this one?
I wonder if he knows the HPs. Well, he might go for it, but time is pretty limited. This is what we'll describe as a lifeline for BetBoom. It was ugly, it was chaotic, it's not a round you're going to win.
Already? I'll say this is, they've got the first piece of floating debris in the shipwreck.
Right, okay. But they're still hypothermic. They're still in the middle of nowhere. Got to find a real life raft.
A second here. But if they don't follow it up immediately, like, this has to be a round win. Has to be a round win for us to consider this map.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the previous round also doesn't squash our concerns about the gun rounds so far. They've really struggled to default for any control, and NiKo changes the pace. A very deep smoke in towards mid. He's just unplayable at the moment. You can't get into mid.
I love that adjustment. Oh, yeah? You guys got something? You guys got something? How about this? NiKo uppercut. Straight in the jaw of your AWPer. All right, kicks in caught. Problem is, Siren can't link up with them, or they'll brute force it. There's no actual retake utility left here either for Falcons. They've got to do this with the guns. They're out of nades. They've got a kit on Degster. He's rerouting to join up with NiKo. They know where Siren is, but Siren's Molotov can also stall them out from this ramp take. Oh, it does need to deploy it, though. Does need to deploy it. That's a bit unfortunate. Didn't realize how close NiKo had gotten. Now things get a bit tenuous for his teammates. Has his first contact. No, Degster. Rather, it all falls to Boomich. The IG must do it all himself, and he's looking into the corner, expecting a flashbang that never comes.
It's a stellar retake from Falcons. Got a little bit sketchy there in the mid-round. Mega seems to get lost in and around the B lane position. But yeah, BetBoom, that alone might have been a must-win round for them to stay in this map. Goes by the wayside. Now we're just playing for free, and again, what I don't envy Boomich calling this round. I don't know what you go into, because the only thing that worked earlier was the A round, and the bluff was called, and the following time he went for a similar sort of play. This one looks much more like a standard default, and honestly, it's only been a couple of rounds, an entire half. We've seen anything like this, and, well, hardly the perfect start with Zorte going down.
Magnage's out. Boomich has got the space, though. Double entry onto the A site. They're not ready for Magisk, though. And the swing back into clear big boom. It all falls to Axile. Despite us picking him up, he can get nothing done. We'll be back after this. We are back into the action here for what could be a very brief second half. BetBoom on the CT side of their own map pick really need to dig themselves out of quite a deep hole, because that first half left a lot to be desired, and Falcons were having none of it.
Magisk, NiKo, Degster. What can we say? Barely put a foot wrong. Mid A, not open for business. T side now, they got even more freedom. I have very little reason to believe this map is going to last long, and to change my mind, BetBoom need to make good calls, good reads, play astonishingly well individually to get back into this map and, frankly, series right now.
Look at this. This is a full gamble. 4 players towards the B side. Maybe he can get aggressive out cave, but by that point, the players are going to be out towards Donut. Axile has to deliver. Gets the first. Needs more. Needs more. 1 is not enough. If he can hold on to the same main position by killing Kicksen, that would be huge. This would be immense, but he's unable to do so, and NiKo already finding 1, and Donut Bomb already ticking away. Every choke point is controlled, and Tessis is going to show why that's so very effective. It falls to Zorte, the last man. No kit, no util, only a USP and a vest to try and keep him warm against this very cold pistol round. They'll check,
Impossible.
They'll realize he's off
Impossible,
of it.
he can't win this.
He's going to save the armor, but at this point, 11-2 down. That is cold consolation.
I love how Kixan played that. When he lost his teammate in A main, he said, I'm not going to give Axel 2 kills and positioning for this afterplant. I'm just going to wait and actually let... I thought at first they were going to... the players coming out of Donut towards site were going to wrap and kill Axel, but they didn't. They actually planted. Yeah. And I love that they're just not scared that a player is in A main. They know he's not facing site. He has to be looking towards Kixan. And
absolutely,
even better, Kixan kills him as he gets aggressive.
And that's one of those things where you feel like it's about talking through the checklist of, okay, what do we do if this happens? What do we do if there's a push A main player and they kill the first one in? Okay, well, here's the response. Here's how you handle it. Here's how you neutralize that threat. Kixan hitting the sorry spray at the end of it as well is just a little cherry on top of that Sunday. We're back to the 4B play. You got to go for a stack here, though, for BetBoom, because you've got pistols, and you desperately need this round as you're raging against the dying of Ancient. NiKo.
Oh, my lord.
Does not care.
I believe he wants to fly to Dallas at the moment.
Yeah, well, he has good memories. He did win that trophy last year. G-Stew.
Yeah, I was going to say, do they need a super sub?
Craziest Cinderella story I've ever seen live.
So Falcons could have cancelled. They know they've lost a gun. They know they've lost a player towards A. But in taking their time, BetBoom, a little bit of a reposition. Magno shows himself. Nade as well. Falcons don't have to commit. But they're going to go now. Good kill from Dexter.
Boy.
That prizes open this site. Axar with 34 HP has to go nuclear. And that flashbang lands at his feet. This game is over, man. This game is over.
The problem with Magna Justice's move is it gives Axel nothing to play off of, right? And it feels like, I mean, look, understandable when you're at this kind of a deficit, but it is unfortunate where we just seen a lot of individual moves from BetBoom in the last few rounds. You can't blame them. They need some sort of a hero play to even give themselves the ability to think about this map. And no one has stepped up to be that hero.
Something to be said, though, for actually going through the motions before we get onto map 2 of playing out standard rounds, communicating well, getting into afterplants together.
Sure.
If let's say hypothetically this was a scrim for BetBoom and we were coaching them, we'd be like, what the heck did we just learn from that scrim? Absolutely nothing. They're going to feel so cold going into map 2 if this just ends now.
Well, you know how to deal with feeling cold. You fly to Texas. You get that warm Texas sun.
Is it warm at the moment?
I'm sure it is. I haven't checked. Statistically speaking, let's see. What's Dallas, Texas? Oh, no, it's actually kind of cold and rainy. 40, well, okay, so 41 degrees. So it's warmer than it is here. But for Texas, that's downright chilly. That's like what?
Dallas May? 10? So, May?
Yeah, it'll be plenty.
Well, it warmed up a little bit. Ooh.
Oh boy. All right, Clyde Boomich, only player who's been able to have some sort of individual moves.
No kits, one piece of util, no information. This will take a miracle. for Falcons not to be one map to the good.
But Alan, do you believe in the power of prayer? That's about all BetBoom might have going for them right now.
Not right now, I don't.
Nade pop on the smoke. Flashbang? No flash. Dry fighting. Uh-oh. Hold on, Falcons. They're going to get the kills. Axile flying through the smoke. Traded out. So we get a Magno just attempt at the clutch. This guy, at one point, was being painted as the next donk. This would be a donk-esque round to win. He's going to route around towards the ramp to do so. Here's the footsteps in cave. That gives up some information. Wants to come back towards that fight. They've cleared it, right? So they're not thinking he's going to be coming around. But that lack of a kit means that this time is so precious. And now NiKo just tucked into the corner. He only heard the one set of footsteps and looking the wrong way on the fitty clear. That is NiKo to put one in the skull and one on the board for Falcons. They've got the map.
That was absolutely brutal. That was about as dominating as a map gets. The round wins that BetBoom got were coin tosses at best.
We can talk about a little bit of what Dallas is going to mean this year as well for teams, because it does afford you a very unique opportunity, considering the fact that the major is going to be taking place in Texas, right? The opportunity to potentially, if your calendar allows it, go for Dallas and then remain, stay there, practice, get ready, prep, and then go right. Very nice visual for yourself. Steal it on this round for Falcons. Especially for a team like BetBoom that might have some, I would say, more challenges with visas.
So what would it be? Would it be about 2 weeks from... No, it'd be just over a week, wouldn't it, from the end of Dallas?
Yeah, Dallas wraps up May 25th. The major starts June 3rd.
You would stay. I think you would
really
stay. It's even just from a perspective of you've just adjusted to the time zone.
Yeah.
Why go back?
And I mean, there's no event between those either, so there's no reason to go back unless you were just
I mean, you're right.
Excited to be jet lagged.
It's incredibly hard normally to get stellar practice in NA, but when all the teams are already there for Dallas, it's just going to be tremendous. So yeah, you're right. They can get into Dallas and the major too, especially from a Falcons perspective. Could set them up for a monster May into June of this year.
Look at this control. Poor Zorthi's just trying to stay alive. Again, we go for BetBoom with one of these 1-4 gamble calls. We saw these on Ancient. Didn't really work out. Now we got a 4-man retake up Catwalk. They've got all the information. They've got a flashbang set up from Tessis. There's that flash. Very effective. The kill's not so effective, though. Flashbang didn't necessarily catch. There is no kit on these BetBoom players, so if they can play the stall-out game, this will work out. NiKo coming up on the flank, and just an assassination on that first shot. He's trying to stall this, knowing the clock is his friend. Wait, there's Axel. Knows he's off it. He's already won it. NiKo doesn't even have to fire this next shot. He'll go for it, because why not? But everybody's going up in smoke here. There is no round win for BetBoom. It's Falcons in the pistol.
Seen 3 stacks now, haven't we, on pistols from BetBoom and...
Yep. And Falcons have called right around it every single time. Yeah.
There is a lot of luck involved, but today is not a lucky day for BetBoom. That is for sure. Broke some mirrors, under some ladders, black cats. I'm not sure what they've done. But Lady Luck is not wearing a BetBoom jersey right now.
No. Three players stacked up on B. Okay, they've got the numbers in the right place early on for the first look that Falcons are showing us, but also the look that Falcons are showing us is very variable. They were expecting aggression. Magno just will give them the aggression into the longhouse. But they were just set up. Players out long were set up for potential mid-aggression. 3 in towards cave would have given them, or tunnels rather, would have given them the control as well. Now they hear these players jumping around in middle. BetBoom not really disguising what they're doing. Maybe this activates Magno, but again, just with the USP, tough to get that kill locked in. If he had anything more, that could have actually gotten quite nervy. Instead, now we're just playing DM.
I like how Kicksan hands off the nades to get aggressive, and then NiKo just kills all the players before he can.
NiKo's like, you think I throw utility for you?
No.
That's not how this works, bro.
No, I peek, and I frag.
I don't think you... Look, I get it. I'm still kind of new to the roster. You might not get it, but here's how it works. You throw the nades for me.
Look at me. I'm the captain now.
Yeah. It is kind of wild to think about. You know, one of the issues with that old Falcons roster is it did feel like maybe there were too many voices. Maybe there were too many butting heads of, you know, you have major winners in Magisk and Dupree. You have Snappy, who's coming in as the IGL, supposed to be his ship. You've got Zlonic in contention for GOAT coach of all time, which is redundant, but you know what I mean. You've got strong voices. You kind of had two clashing systems. It felt like coming together from that Ents core meeting into the Danish stack. And maybe at times it was tough to find the route forward. Then you're throwing Simple in as an occasional juice in there. You've got, Boros for like 2 seconds, who I don't know if he's so much of a voice. But on this team, don't get me wrong, Kixon's building a really nice resume for himself, but it's not like anybody is telling NiKo how to play the game. 1 and 1. Man advantage for BetBoom. Kit on Axile. Bomb will be planted. Kixon and Dagster, what do they got? Kixon's got a weird little knee blocking his vision. I don't know if that helps or hurts. I guess we'll find out. They're a little nervy about this retake. They got some U-tilt to come out here. That's a massive kill. Kixon can't get it done. Just trying to spray, trying to spam, and Dagster, yeah, no correct choice now. A defuse on BetBoom on the first gun rounder on the board, Alan.
Something they really couldn't do on map 1, so I guess we should feel a little bit more confident. Kixon there felt like he had to face from Car as the smoke landed at his feet. His teammate was low on HP. So, did the best they could in that 2v3, but a little bit too much work to do. And nice to see someone like Axile getting engaged as well. Right. So, BetBoom on the board. They haven't set a tremendously high bar yet in this series for winning rounds.
For rounds?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, I think they'll beat their ancient scoreline.
now you've said it.
I really hope. We did see, I mean, when BetBoom finally got something going, right? It was off of reading the light sight. This wasn't so much that, but they then immediately got stymied. Magisk has already found the opener. This is out in the long fight. And there's the second as well.
Well, there goes the long hold.
Yeah, I don't know what is Axile doing wandering back into that fight.
I don't know
That's
what just
very
happened
awkward.
because it looked like there was a smoke on the box, so anybody aggressing long doors would have been easily seen by Magisk. I assume there was a flash of Boomish that got turned. It's just an absolute crumbling, and look at these A positions.
Oh, boy.
I mean, even if Tezos doesn't find those kills, they're always getting traded. Impossible to hold from elbow like that. What a nightmare.
Nightmarish indeed. Immediate response coming through from Falcons. Okay, you got one. Good luck building an economy. I am really curious about what happened on that initial long fight, because look at I mean, sometimes the X's on the mini-maps can be a little bit deceiving, but that is deep into the longhouse.
Yeah, I can only assume he was flashed in. There wasn't enough pressure elsewhere on the map for Boomich just to push solo. It just doesn't make sense. Yeah. The one thing we do know is that whatever came, Magisk was ready for it, because he absolutely destroyed the long hold.
Well handled. Can't imagine BetBoom are going to try that maneuver again. They're not going to try much of anything in this round. You do have some money on Zorte. You do have some money on Magnogis. You could risk a little skin in this game. Zorte presumably wants to save to get that op out early. Oh, are they going in?
Magno's bought a FAMAS?
I mean, it is cheap now.
Yeah, but what's he buying
Eagle.
next round?
Another FAMAS. It's pretty good now. Now, it's not so good if you don't do anything with it. NiKo down to half, but he'll certainly take that exchange for one of the few rifles available in this round. They may not know it. Actually, that FAMAS going for the aggressive move might make them think it's a force buy. Umich, burning. Not burning. Finds a safe spot. Molly goes a little too deep, but the bullets will be plenty. Caught some damage on the Magisk, at least, but...
Maybe Siren should just save.
That's nice.
I mean, it's a nice kill from Exile.
Siren's committed.
But he's giving away information. These long players know there's very little resistance here on A. Siren's now out way in the open. No trade, though, immediately, and he does duck back into short. But having lost Zorte, not going to happen. Tez is on a tear.
It looked like he got caught. He's just so quick on the snapback. Oh, that's one of those fights that hurts when you're Siren. You're like, I got him dead to rights. Oh, okay, he headshot me. All right, chill.
MP9 chill. From Magno. No. FAMAS. It's cheap now. 1950. Just never stop buying the FAMAS. What is a save? What is an eco? What is a NiKo? He's gone. Mid-fight, or long fight rather, actually successful here for BetBoom. They'll take that. 1 for 2 exchange every day of the week. Classic Dust2. We're going to have a massive long fight. Whoever wins the long fight is going to be well positioned for the rest of the round. Adage as old as time. Approaching, well, it must be something like 25 years now of that playing out.
True.
Older than a lot of our viewers, I suspect. What can they conjure now? I mean, this site is so well defended. There is a smoke on double doors, which will alert these B players and could be coming. Now they know for sure. Molly will land soon. Can Zorte find a frag? Nope. Scout removed. All on Siren. Kixan. Second heady of the take. That is brutal. What are you supposed to do as BetBoom?
Save. Supposed to save.
I mean, aside from just hitting shots, I don't know what they could have done more with that site hold. They just got annihilated. Holy hell.
It is looking like two competitors just in very different weight classes right now. I mean, this is not looking like a like an even matching on a pound for pound basis.
If Kixan's going to frag like that, it changes the dynamic of this team.
He's always had some of that oomph, right? Some of that sizzle.
Yeah, he always has.
Really, since getting added to that Apex roster from, what was he, Blue Jays before that?
Yeah, the Macedonian team.
Yeah, Blue Jays into Apex, Apex into ENCE. ENCE into Heroic. I've added ENCE in there. He did not have the instant. He just went from Apex to Heroic.
Yeah.
I had to think about that for a second. I was like, wait, no, that was just nerds. That was just nerds who came over to that old Heroic roster. There was no end stick.
You said it with such confidence that I believed you for a second.
You know,
it's like it must be
assume,
right.
As soon as someone's become associated with Saw, I still think about that ENCE roster. Oh, toes spotted. Kicks in, looking for them toes. And he'll find them. This is the last rifle here on Axile. They've identified where it is on Cat. They have two options. Try and avoid it, or try and go hunt.
What was that you said earlier about BetBoom definitely getting more rounds?
Hey, look, you know, I could still. The re-aggression into Cat's kind of interesting. It is just USPs on most of these. But you do have this AK. Hold on. Oh, but it's NiKo on the other side. Triple boost? Good flashbang. Was that a team flash? That was a team flash. That was a flash from lower that NiKo peeked into. The timing's awkward there. And he eats it full on. If that timing had been just a little bit better. Oh my goodness. Now you have a choice to make, right? Because you have players unarmored. But you got a 4v3 and rounds are so very precious. Do you risk it all? No kit. One flash. Do you risk it all? Thanks Dust2's got a molly here on ramp. First player down, second player down, third player dropped. Zoite now alone, but he's already out in no man's land, trying to get out of here, and indeed he will. Back into the foxhole he goes. An AK at least to limp into the next round.
Can hardly blame them going for it, given the trajectory of BetBoom in this series. I think we would have liked to seen better spacing from those players coming out catwalk. I'm not sure it would have mattered, frankly, going in towards an AWP with only one flash to their name. But they didn't give themselves the best opportunities for trades. 6-1 now. Yes, Falcons lose a few too many players there against pistols, but they'd banked up so much on the gun rounds proper. And it's the same story as the first half of Ancient. It's already becoming damage limitation for BetBoom. We just need to get rounds on the board and look at the adaptation. Second AWP out, Magno in towards lower tunnels. He's trying to force the move now. He's trying to force the hand of Falcons.
You got to do something dynamic, right? You got to do something. The long fight has been tenuous. Even when they win it, it's tough to secure the round. You got to do something to make them uncomfortable. And this is going to be unexpected. NiKo's looking for it, actually, on the lower push. They're aware it's a possibility. Utility to make him uncomfortable, to push him off the angle. Still going to collect. Nicely done for Magno. And with the smoke up in mid, able to get away. So a 5v4 established. We've seen BetBoom with advantages. They have to start converting on these. Boomich and Pit. Spotted. Now teammates in support. They want this fight. That flashbang's good, but Boomich doesn't peek off of it. Scared of what might be waiting on the other side. And boom. There's the haircut. Wow. Dealt out. That's info. That's info. That might allow them to rotate another player. Tassis is holding on to this position, but he was slow into it, and it'll take a long rotation with 45 seconds left, but they might just be doing it here, Alan.
It's one of those chess moves where Falcons know it's happened.
Yeah.
Falcons know there's been an info play on B. They know they've showed massive long presence. BetBoom have to respect long. I mean, this is Dust2. They could, in many a world right now, Falcons are 4 long about to cross. But BetBoom are wrong. They've given B Magno. This AWP is not going to be a lot of fun if it comes to a retake. He's got to get on the site. Into window now, and he has to find frags. Looks like a missed smoke in tunnels. Yep. They need to cross these doors. Will there be another AWP on location? No, there will not. Magis and his headshots are bailing his team out right now.
That's actually such a bailout.
That's
ridiculous. Still a tunnel player. Magis playing like a man possessed right now in defense of B. He's reclaimed his home turf, right? This is where we expect to see him playing in the second half. This half, it's been more about getting out long and just ripping headshots. And yeah, it's going to be another save for BetBoom. Sorte has no interest in this, especially with the health that he's got, the position that he's got, the site that he'd have to retake. It's just a non-factor, a non-starter. So again, we see BetBoom with a 5v4 advantage. Magno just goes into the tunnels to secure it. So aggressive with a double op as well. And they cannot convert.
I can't believe Falcons have missed a doors smoke and still won a round against 2 AWPs. It should be so hard to get that bomb down without losing more numbers.
Yeah.
But Magisk, he's playing like a man possessed. He's absolutely annihilating anybody that appears on his screen right now. Did Magno even get off a shot before Magisk swung and killed him? I'm not sure.
I don't think so. I don't know. Dude's playing lights out.
It's just brutal, man. I mean, even in the rounds where Falcons, they lose an early man, they're making some mistakes, it looks a bit scrappy. It doesn't matter.
Oh my god, another one. Another one.
Doesn't matter. You can't kill him.
The heat map of Boomich and Magisk, like, it just feels like every round, even with a different timing, right? Normally on Dust2, we kind of expect some of these early engagements to be dictated by spawns. It's just this guy again and again and again bullying poor Boomich. Op revealed. They know where it is now. They know where Zoite is. They want to just try and pressure it up. Looks like yes. They want to go hunting up catwalk. Smokes deployed to try and stall this out. Utility being dumped by the CT side. They've not got a lot remaining to work with. Oh my god, the tags on a Magno. He's so low now.
So Falcons are really... Yeah, they're really wary of aggression, aren't they? They know it's a man down. They know that BetBoom needs to make a move. That's why they're giving mid. Go into long. You've got numbers. It's incredibly hard to hold at the best of times. I know BetBoom are free on A, but This is Dust2. This is long. It doesn't necessarily count for that much.
They also know it's mostly been Boomich posted up in the pit, so with Boomich gone, no one has taken up his post. It's Magno playing from the site. That nade might finish. It does indeed. One down already. May just didn't even have to peek on this one. He'll finally be put to rest. 25 seconds. Time is a little nervy. Nice kill from Zorte, but Axile lost in turn should mean that this bomb goes down, and there's little that they can do about it. The Siren?
No way.
What's it? Turn right, NiKo. Turn right. Or left, Siren. Somebody. Oh, no. His teammate's going to get caught on the save now, thinking that it's clear. NiKo! Double take. But the round is done. You're 2 out of position, Siren. Keep saving that off. It ain't making a difference, but keep on trying. Because the Falcons have got you in their talons.
That would have been a heck of a jump scare for Zorte. He'd be looking at his teammate in Siren now, saying, how is a player 1 meter from you unsighted? Wowzers. This is brutal. This is... For those that missed map 1, this feels exactly the same. They're just getting suffocated, BetBoom. So many of these rounds... Yeah, there's a nice couple frags in the midsection, but Falcons have such control over all the moving parts. And even if you think something might be about to go wrong, an individual makes a massive play like Magisk. Outside of the double orb, BetBoom haven't thrown many different solutions at the problem they're being posed.
I mean, they've tried. It's just so individual when they do, right? We've seen Boomich throw himself into the longhouse. We've seen Magno go for that lower play. We did see the reclear in towards tunnels. It just accidentally gave them away because Tessus was listening for it from lower.
Ooh, okay.
That smoke.
Yeah, it's meant to land on the ledge.
Well, one would think.
I'm pretty sure it is, at least.
One would think. It could be a CT smoke, and then NiKo goes for the drop down. He does like that sometimes. Actually, this now indicates, right, they throw the left side smoke. That sets up the channel to fight for CT. But Falcons aren't going on it. They're hoping to bait a response out from BetBoom.
Decent info play from BetBoom. They flash for Magno here to have a quick look. So at least for a moment he can confirm that mid is empty. But as we can see, Falcons now going silent, using this coverage. Re-smokes now in towards this CT position. Bit of a gap here, but they'll go in front of it. Magno punishes. Magno punishes. He picks up on that gap and gets a 2-piece for himself.
Oh, brilliant play. Shooting through. I mean, it's a bit of luck, but he's also making his own vision. Tess is trying to get in position to bail out his teammate. He's still going to get that kill. This round's not done. 20 seconds. It's close. It's tenuous. Have to win this fight in mid, and nicely done from Magno just to go in and secure it. Set up Axel for the last, and finally, BetBoom have at least matched their round total from Ancient. But this, again, feels reminiscent. Okay, you've done it once, BetBoom. Show us you can follow up.
I assume Falcons didn't have another smoke left. It does provide a lot of coverage, but there is a little bit of a gap. And as you said, as soon as Magno starts tapping away, especially the silencer, gets a little bit more vision every time. Critical round in terms of salvaging something from this half of BetBoom. We still need a lot more, and as soon as they throw anything different into the arena, they get absolutely hamstrung.
Dixie's going to have so much space here. Is Axel ready for him to be this far up? Is Axel ready for the up to be posted? He's treating it carefully, as he should, but there's the deletion. Had to get some sort of information, and in the dry peak, Dexter's just so ready to punish. Here comes another. It's over. It's so over. Boomich just trying to find safe haven. Well, guess who was waiting for you this entire time? Your sleep paralysis demon, Magisk.
Give us that heat map. It's going to be one-sided.
Boogeyman right now.
Wow.
Boomich.
What a map.
What a map. What a bludgeoning across 2 as well.
I'm
here.
almost more impressed, I think, by this than Ancients. I think on Ancients, you can always kind of make the excuse that BetBoom were telegraphed or there was mistakes. I think this one, yeah, BetBoom's a bit default in how they're playing the CT side, but Falcons are just destroying them. So many different looks. The lurkers in particular, Tezes and Magisk, have been just brutal with how they've gone for aggressive moves, then played passive. You've got NiKo in mid, who's just been an absolute fiend. It's just, there's no room to maneuver here for this CT side.
Hold on, 5v4, nice nade, nice pop, nice collect. But I think to echo your point, Alan, the thing that's been different here is BetBoom have gotten some early round advantages. They've gotten some 5v4s. They've gotten some numbers up. And they've still struggled to convert so mightily. Whereas on Ancient, especially that first half, it was just like, oh, nope, you're down 5v4. Oh, nope, you're down 5v3. Like, try and recover. This time, look at this. BetBoom are well positioned. Axile's in place. Zort is here. He's going to be able to rotate between. The timing is going to be huge on Magisk, but you can't doubt him based on how dang good he's been. No, he still gets it! He rips the head off the AWP, and you know he's going to expect boomage. Of course he's going to get boomage! This guy is unstoppable right now. Axile then rumbled, has to make some sort of a move, or it's just disaster, and that is solo action from Magisk. We don't even see what he's doing, but he's just John Wick, silent in the night, executing everyone arrayed against him. This is unreal. You have an AWP and boomage posted just to deal with that one walkout. You know it's coming. And he still just destroys you. What can you do? What can you do against this guy? There's the nade. He's going to get an assist at minimum on this kill as well. Just off of that HE. And they're not giving him a peek. They know. It's inevitable. Magisk will send us to the half. And we're back in here. We're back in here, ready for action. Falcons versus BetBoom, and this is a rinse repeat of what we saw on Ancient. Utter domination. Maybe the only change in the flavor is that this one seems a little bit more individually oriented in that Magisk is just obliterating everything that BetBoom want to do. But you know what they could do on this half, Alan?
Win more than 2 rounds?
Well, I was just going to say completely avoid Magisk because they get to decide where they want to go.
They might get the stack right in the pistol round for once. They might go B into one player. If they go A,
convert
this
into
is
a cap
cursed.
play. Mid? All right, so this is weakening the stack for Falcons, right? 2 players going towards CT, anticipating the mid aggression.
Oh my lord.
Has just collected, getting antsy out the long house, goes looking, and now whatever you were trying to do, you can't do it because you got to deal with a wolf in the back line.
You're burning your util. Presumably this util was for a site take, and you're not even getting that far. The bomb is in mid. This is over.
That was bizarre for Axile, just assuming that maybe he would have repositioned, maybe he would have gone back in the longhouse to avoid giving up the kill, but that's an element of carelessness that you can't afford at this point in time. All right, straight towards the A-take. Here we go. Just brawl it out with pistols, get some headshots, and this can get righted very quickly for BetBoom. Unfortunately for them, the headshots are not coming their way. Kicksan dealt with, still a player on site. Magisk is ready for it. Of course he is, and Magno Jez will not fare much better. 11-2. This is looking like it might just be over and done with.
It's melodramatic, but Falcons are 2 rounds from Dallas, guys. They haven't put a foot wrong today. They've dominated BetBoom, clearly deserving of their spot in Dallas, which we all assume they're about to claim. And as you said, Mike, if they can make the major, it sets themselves up for a brilliant end to this season, doesn't it? And it might be a season where they don't get to play that many events in the first kind of half, 3 quarters of it. Dallas, though, towards the end, looks like it will be one of them. BetBoom forcing up. What else can you do? You can't eco here and give away 10 series points. Gotta force it out. Try and make something work. If they can find Kicksan, maybe there's a route to a plant. Decent trade, but now the cavalry's here. There's so many players to deal with. Can they even get this bomb down?
Plant. Oh my god. They're gonna get a bomb plant, I say. Increasingly nervously. Please just stick the bomb. Please. They're giving it to you. Please stick the bomb. Axile, please. Axile, please. Don't peek. No, Axile. No. Don't go for one more peek. Oh. Hold on. Hold on. Axile, maybe not. Magnojez, maybe yes. No util. Oh, they're just brawling the scout, but there will be no bomb plant today. There will be no money for this final round. There will be no hope for BetBoom.
Oh dear. What is Mega's stats for this series overall? Let's have a look at map 1.
He was good. But this
he was only 10 and 7. I guess it's not as much fun when NiKo gets all the kills before you see them.
Yeah. Yeah, this round, he's been that guy. The other map, he was like, I'll do my role. I'll do good. You know, 1.25 rating. 10 and 7. Just chilling. This one, it's like, no. I am the executioner.
You gotta also be Kicksan looking at, your new pickups in Magisk and NiKo, if you look at it as a continuation of Heroic and being like, this is great. These calls work a lot better now, guys.
Yeah, I mean, really. Again, speaking about that ascension. 2022. December of 2022. So realistically, 2023, right? Made the move over to Apex. 2 years later, he's got NiKo.
Yeah.
He's got Magisk. He's got 2 of the most celebrated players in the game of Counter-Strike. And then he's got the players that he actually brought over from Heroic with him in Dexter and Tess's. Like, this is... And it's this guy, I don't know if you've heard of him, it's Zonic standing behind him as well. So, talk about a very fast ascension through the game of Counter-Strike.
Use the flashes, guys, please. Please use the flashes!
Try.
Oh dear! It's a disaster. And Falcons are definitely now going to Dallas.
I just heard a type. Someone just typed GG. So guarantee someone just hit GG after that. Oh, well, it's over. Domination coming through. Falcons have got it. I mean, that was clean. That was clinical. That was phenomenal from Falcons. I don't have anything bad to say about them. I guess maybe share the kills out more, Megisk. Like, I don't know. That was phenomenal. They looked